is a necessary part of life. But what role does it play? Actually, we require energy to do any work and maintain body's normal physiology. This energy is provided by our food. It also provides organic materials for growth and repair of tissues. Our digestive system plays a role to make this food available for use in our bodies. Hello everyone, I am Nivedita Kauri, MBBS student at Bankura Sammiloni Medical College, West Bengal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to talk about the structure of human digestive system. Human digestive system is made up of the gastrointestinal tract and some associated digestive glands. Our gastrointestinal tract is divided into some parts, which are mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. And the associated digestive glands are salivary glands, liver, pancreas, gastric glands and intestinal glands. Let's start with mouth. Our mouth is an opening guarded by a pair of lips, our upper lip and the lower lip. Upper lip is attached to the upper jaw by superior labial frenulum and the lower lip is attached to the lower jaw by inferior labial frenulum. Next is the buccal cavity. The roof of our buccal cavity is known as palate, and palate is divided into anterior hard palate and posterior soft palate. Buccal cavity contains tongue and teeth. Our tongue is a freely movable muscular organ which is attached to the floor of the buccal cavity by a mucosal fold known as the lingual frenulum. There is an inverted V-shaped furrow on the upper surface of tongue which divides the tongue into anterior oral part and posterior pharyngeal part. This furrow is known as sulcus terminalis. There are several types of papillae on the upper surface of tongue like filiform papillae, fungiform papillae, circumhallate papillae and foliate papillae. Foliate papillae are actually absent in human. Filiform papillae are the smallest papillae and circumhallate papillae are the largest papillae. Filiform papillae do not contain any taste bud, but the other two types of papillae like fungiform papillae and circumhallate papillae, they contain taste buds. Different parts of the tongue sense different taste, like tip of the tongue sweet, back of the tongue bitter, anterior part of the sides salt and posterior part of the sides sour. But interestingly, there is no taste bud for tasting chilies. It is actually the burning sensation at the pain receptors. Next, teeth. Human teeth are thecodont because they are embedded in the sockets of jawbone. They are also heterodont because we have four types of teeth: incisor, canine, premolar and molar. And humans produce two sets of teeth during their lifespan, the milk teeth and the permanent teeth. That's why our teeth are also diphyodont. We have 20 milk teeth. Premolars are absent here. Permanent teeth are 32 in number. The last molar teeth appear after 18 years of age. So, they are also known as the wisdom teeth. Enamel of the teeth is the hardest substance of human body. Next is pharynx. It's a common passage for food and air. Our pharynx is divided into three parts: nasopharynx, oropharynx, and the laryngopharynx. The opening of trachea is known as glottis, and this glottis is guarded by a cartilaginous flap, which is known as epiglottis. This epiglottis prevents entry of food into the trachea during the process of swallowing. The lymphatic tissue which is present in the pharynx is arranged as a ring called the Waldeyer's ring. Waldeyer's ring contains pharyngeal tonsil, tubal tonsil, palatine tonsil, and lingual tonsil. Esophagus. Esophagus is a long muscular tube which leads to the stomach. Next is our stomach. It's a J-shaped muscular organ located in the upper left portion of our abdominal cavity. It can be differentiated into four parts, namely cardiac part, fundic part, body, and the pyloric part. Opening of esophagus into the stomach is guarded by a sphincter known as the cardiac sphincter or the gastroesophageal sphincter, and the opening of pyloric part into the duodenum is guarded by another sphincter called the pyloric sphincter. Peptic ulcer is an open raw wound of the stomach lumen, and the principal cause of this disease is a bacteria, Helicobacter pylori. Next comes the longest part of our gastrointestinal tract, the small intestine. It is divided into three parts: proximal duodenum, middle jejunum, and terminal ileum. Lymphatic tissue is present along the entire length of small intestine in the form of small nodules. These nodules get clustered, particularly in the ileum, to produce Peyer's patches. Next is our large intestine. Large intestine can be divided into three parts: cecum, colon, and rectum. Cecum harbors microorganism, vermiform appendix. It's a vestigial organ present in our body. This vermiform appendix is attached to cecum. Next, colon. Colon is divided into four parts: ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and sigmoid colon. Rectum is the last part of our gastrointestinal tract which opens outside through anus. Here is a diagram of our large intestine. Here is the cecum, next part is our colon, and the last part is rectum. Colon is divided into four parts: ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and the sigmoid colon. Haustra are sac-like structures present in the wall of colon. Colon surface has epiploic appendages which are fat-filled projection-like structures. And histology of colon reveals presence of tinea coli, which are three bands of longitudinal smooth muscle. Next, I will be talking about the histology of gut. If we do a cross section of gut, then we will see there are four layers in the wall. From outside inwards, they are serosa, muscularis propria, submucosa, and mucosa. Serosa is made up of thin mesothelium. That means the epithelium of visceral organs. Our esophagus doesn't have the serosa layer. Muscularis propria contains smooth muscle. It is differentiated into outer longitudinal muscle layer and inner circular muscle layer. Stomach has additional oblique muscle layer present in the muscularis propria. Next, submucosa. Connective tissue, nerves, blood vessels and lymph vessels are present here. Submucosa of the duodenum contains Brunner's glands also. Brunner's glands secrete mucus. Next is the mucosa. Mucosa is differentiated into three layers. From outside inwards, they are muscularis mucosa, lamina propria and epithelium. Goblet cells are present in epithelium and they secrete mucus. Now, there are several modifications of mucosa. Like in stomach, irregular mucosal folds are present which are known as rugae. Stomach mucosa also contains gastric glands. In the small intestine, there are several finger-like mucosal folds which are known as villi. The cells lining the villi produce multiple microscopic projection which are known as microvilli. Microvilli increase the surface area for absorption and give a brass border appearance to the cells. Crypts in between the bases of villi are known as crypts of Lieberkühn. Crypts contain goblet cells, Paneth cells and Argentafin cells. Goblet cells as usual secrete mucus. Paneth cells secrete digestive enzyme and lysozyme. And Argentafin cells secrete serotonin or 5-hydroxytryptamine. Mucosa of the small intestine has folds which are known as plica circularis or the folds of Kirk ring. Next is enteric nervous system. Orbach plexus or myenteric plexus is situated between the longitudinal and circular muscle layer. It controls the movement of the gut. And Meissner plexus is situated in the submucosa. It regulates secretion and movement of the mucosa. We have done the gastrointestinal tract. Now moving on to associated digestive glands. First is our salivary glands. We have three pairs of salivary glands: parotid glands, submandibular or submaxillary glands and sublingual glands. Parotid glands are the largest salivary glands. They are situated below our ears. It opens through the Stenson's duct. Submaxillary or submandibular glands are located at the lower jaw and it opens into the buccal cavity through Wharton's duct. Sublingual glands, the smallest salivary glands, they opens through Rivinus duct. Per day we secrete almost 1 to 1.5 liters of saliva and our saliva is slightly acidic in nature. Its pH is 6.7. Saliva contains 99.5% of water and 0.5% solids like sodium ion, potassium ion, chloride ion, etc. Smoker's saliva contains thiocyanate ion. Different enzymes are present in our saliva. They are salivary amylase. This is an lipolytic enzyme. It is also known as dialin. Chloride ion is required for activation of it. Lingual lipase is a lipolytic enzyme. It is secreted from the Ebner's gland situated at the posterior part of buccal cavity. Lysozyme enzyme, which is a bacteriolytic enzyme, is also present. Mumps is a viral infection caused by paramyxovirus. It causes swelling of the salivary glands, mainly parotid glands. Next is liver. It is the largest gland of our body. Its weight is almost 1.2 to 1.5 kg. Liver has two lobes, a small left lobe and large right lobe. These two lobes are separated by falciform ligament. Each lobe contains several lobules, which are the structural and functional unit of liver. Lobules are encapsulated by Gleason's capsule. Presence of Gleason's capsule is a characteristic feature of mammalian liver. Lobule contains liver cells or hepatocytes in the form of cords. Between two rows of hepatocyte, the empty space is known as sinusoid, and Kupffer cells, which are phagocytic cells, are present in these sinusoids. This is a diagram of our liver. This is the larger right lobe and smaller left lobe, separated by falciform ligament. This is a lobule of liver. Hepatocytes or liver cells are arranged in the form of cords. The empty space between the cords are the sinusoids, which contain Kupffer cells. And these are the portal triads. It contains a branch of the hepatic artery, bile ductule, and a branch of hepatic portal vein. Functions of liver. It produces bile, glycogenesis, glycogenolysis, neoglucogenesis, deamination of amino acids, lipogenesis, lipolysis, all these are carried out by liver. Liver performs ornithine cycle to eliminate ammonia. It also performs Cori's cycle. Liver synthesizes fat-soluble vitamins, coagulation factors, heparin, plasma proteins, angiotensinogen, etc. And liver is the site of detoxification in our body. Bile. It's a green colored fluid which is needed for emulsification of fat. It is synthesized by hepatocytes but concentrated in gallbladder. Bile contains water, bile salts like sodium glycocolate, sodium taurocolate, bile pigments like bilirubin, biliverdin, etc. Bile also contains cholesterol, lecithin, but no enzyme is present in bile. It is alkaline, pH is 7.8 to 8.6. Gallbladder concentrates bile up to 15%. Sometimes stone may be produced in the gallbladder. This is known as cholelithiasis. And if this stone formation occurs in the gallbladder duct, then it is called choledocholithiasis. Surgical removal of the gallbladder is known as cholecystectomy. Pancreas. It's a heterocrine gland situated between the limbs of duodenum. Its exocrine part produces pancreatic juice containing enzymes, and endocrine part produces hormones like insulin, glucagon. Main duct of pancreas is the duct of Wirsung, and accessory duct of pancreas is the duct of Santorini. Several enzymes are present in pancreatic juice. They are amylolytic enzyme, pancreatic amylase or amylopsin, proteolytic enzymes, trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, procarboxypeptidase, etc., lipolytic enzyme, pancreatic lipase or steapsin, and nucleic acid digesting enzymes, DNase and RNase. Duct system. Right hepatic duct comes from the right lobe of liver, and left hepatic duct comes from the left lobe of liver. They join together to form the common hepatic duct. Bile duct or the cystic duct comes from the gallbladder, unites with the common hepatic duct and forms common bile duct. Then the common bile duct joins with the pancreatic duct to form the hepatopancreatic duct. This hepatopancreatic duct then opens in the first part of duodenum at the ampulla of water, and the opening is guarded by a sphincter known as the sphincter of Oddi. Gastric glands. Gastric glands are tubular glands produced by the infolding of gastric mucosa. They contain different types of cells like goblet cells, chief cells or peptic cells, oxyntic cells or parietal cells, and G cells. Goblet cells produce mucus. Chief cell or the peptic cells produce inactive enzymes pepsinogen and prorenin. Oxyntic cell or parietal cells produce hydrochloric acid and Cassell's intrinsic factor. Cassell's intrinsic factor is a glycoprotein which helps in absorption of vitamin B12. Deficiency of this factor results in pernicious anemia. And G cells are found within the pyloric glands. They are responsible for gastrin hormone release. Gastric juice is highly acidic. Its pH is 1.3 to 1.5. It contains water, hydrochloric acid, electrolytes, pepsinogen. Absence of acid in stomach is known as achlorhydria. Presence of less acid in stomach is hypochlorhydria, and the opposite condition, that means presence of excessive acid in stomach, is known as hyperchlorhydria. Intestinal glands. Intestinal glands are crypts of Lieberkühn and Brunner's gland. Together they produce intestinal juice or Succus entericus, which is alkaline in nature. pH is 7.5 to 8. Enzymes present in intestinal juice are amylolytic enzymes like maltase, lactase, sucrase, etc. Proteolytic enzymes like aminopeptidase, dipeptidase, etc. and nucleic acid digesting enzymes like nucleotidase, nucleosidase, etc. This is all for today. If you liked my video, please give a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and please subscribe to my channel. Coming soon with my next video.